Hello everyone. Today I'll show you how to use GLab's Voice Studio, an all-in-one voice processing tool. In this video, we'll go through 4 main features: voice cloning, text-to-speech, multi-character dialogue, and finally extracting text from audio or video files. Let's get started. First up is the clone voice feature. This is the most important step because it lets us create a copy of our own voice. So where do you find good sample voices? In this video, I've prepared a few sample voices for you. But if you want to find your own, you can get quality sample voices anywhere online. Personally, I usually go to 11 Labs, into the Voices section. There's a huge library of voices there. You can filter by gender, age, tone, and style, then listen to each voice. Once you find a voice you like, just download that sample voice file and you're done. It's a clean, high-quality voice source, perfect as input data for cloning. And I want to stress one crucial principle right from the start: garbage in, garbage out. Meaning, if the input data is good and clean, the cloned file will turn out high quality. But if the voice sample is full of noise, then no matter how good the tool is, the result will be hard to listen to. So processing the input audio file is decisive. First, let's talk about how to process the sample file. Say you have a long recording, but only a few parts are truly clean, while the rest has background noise, wind, or static. In that case, we'll use a very handy online audio cutting tool called MP3 Cut. Go to MP3 Cut, upload your audio file, then listen and drag to select exactly the segment with the least noise, where the voice is clear, steady, and uninterrupted. Cut that segment, download it, and this becomes the quality sample voice we'll use. Remember, 10 truly clean seconds beat 30 seconds mixed with noise. Next, here's a tip for getting the text content of the sample audio. GLabs has an AI mechanism that auto-suggests subtitles for the sample file, but in practice, it doesn't always work well. Especially with certain languages, or with files that have unusual characteristics, it may get things wrong or miss content. To be safe, I recommend creating the subtitles yourself using Gemini. It's very simple. Open Gemini, upload the sample audio file, then ask Gemini to listen and create accurate subtitles for that audio. Gemini recognizes speech very well and supports many languages, so you'll get text that matches the voice in the file precisely. Then copy this text and paste it into the sample section of GLabs. Now let's go back to GLab's Voice Studio. Open the Clone Voice tab, upload the sample audio file you cleaned up earlier, then paste the subtitles Gemini just created into the corresponding content box. Providing both a clean file and accurate text helps the system learn the voice much better. Finally, listen to it, and if you're happy, you can hit save to store the voice in your voice library for later use. Now I'll try cloning a few other voices. This is the original voice file, and this is the cloned file. Let's hear the original again.
発音が特徴です。イントネーションは自然で感情を込めすぎることなく安定感のある話し方をします。
When using the AI Suggest button, remember to pick the right language. This is a Vietnamese audio file, but because the language was still set to Japanese, it produced an error. Select the correct language and click Suggest again. Enter a piece of text to test it out once cloning is done. Cloning is done. Now I'll play back both the sample voice and our cloned file, so you can hear whether they match.
Xin chào, đây là giọng nam truyền cảm hứng với chất giọng trầm ấm, rõ ràng và tự nhiên.
And this is the cloned file.
Hoàng vốn có thói quen thức khuya. Nhiều lần vợ phải nhắc rằng nên đi ngủ sớm, kẻo sáng mai lại không kịp chuyến xe đưa đón của công ty. Ấy vậy mà không ít bận, khi anh tỉnh giấc thì xe đã bắt đầu lăn bánh, đành vội vàng khoác tạm bộ đồng phục, 3 chân 4 cẳng lao đi.
And this is the original file.
Xin chào, đây là giọng nam truyền cảm hứng với chất giọng trầm ấm, rõ ràng và tự nhiên.
I'll try a few more voices and see how they turn out. Keep watching. Each time you click clone, the system asks you again whether the sample text is correct, because this really
Hoàng
matters.
vốn có thói quen thức khuya. Nhiều lần vợ phải nhắc rằng nên đi ngủ sớm, kẻo sáng mai lại không kịp chuyến xe đưa đón của công ty. Ấy vậy mà không ít bận, khi anh tỉnh giấc thì xe đã bắt đầu lăn bánh, đành vội vàng khoác tạm bộ đồng phục, 3 chân 4 cẳng lao đi.
I'll try a few more times.
Hoàng vốn có thói quen thức khuya. Nhiều lần vợ phải nhắc rằng nên đi ngủ sớm kẻo sáng mai lại không kịp chuyến xe đưa đón của công ty. Ấy vậy mà không ít bận, khi anh tỉnh giấc thì xe đã bắt đầu lăn bánh, đành vội vàng khoác tạm bộ đồng phục, ba chân bốn cẳng lao đi.
You can try changing the weight that keeps it close to the original audio to see if the result differs. I'll try raising it to 4.
Hoàng vốn có thói quen thức khuya. Nhiều lần vợ phải nhắc rằng nên đi ngủ sớm, kẻo sáng mai lại không kịp chuyến xe đưa đón của công ty. Ấy vậy mà không ít bận, khi anh tỉnh giấc thì xe đã bắt đầu lăn bánh, đành vội vàng khoác tạm bộ đồng phục, ba chân bốn cẳng lao đi.
Try lowering it to 0.
Hoàng vốn có thói quen thức khuya. Nhiều lần vợ phải nhắc rằng lại không kịp chuyến xe đưa đón của công ty. Khi anh tỉnh giấc thì xe đã bắt đầu lăn bánh, đành vội vàng khoác tạm bộ đồng phục, ba chân bốn cẳng lao đi.
Try raising it to 3. I find 3 the most balanced. I usually use 64 steps and a fidelity weight of 2 or 3.
Hoàng vốn có thói quen thức khuya. Nhiều lần vợ phải nhắc rằng nên đi ngủ sớm, kẻo sáng mai lại không kịp chuyến xe đưa đón của công ty. Ấy vậy mà không ít bận, khi anh tỉnh giấc thì xe đã bắt đầu lăn bánh, đành vội vàng khoác tạm bộ đồng phục, ba chân bốn cẳng lao đi.
Cloned it, listened, happy with it. I'll save this voice to my voice library. Next, we'll use the voice we just cloned to read text. Switch to the text-to-speech tab. In the voice selection, I'll choose my voice, the one we just created earlier. Then enter the text you want to convert to speech into the editor box. Here you can fine-tune the reading speed, intonation, and pitch to your liking. A note about the thread count: it's the number of sentences read simultaneously. The higher it is, the more it taxes your computer, so if your device is low spec, you can run with one thread. You can experiment to see which thread count suits your machine. I recommend starting at 1 and increasing gradually if you want. Here you can add a cue to leave the machine running multiple tasks one after another. Once you're done, click Convert. And there it is, my own voice reading back the text, sounding very natural, right? You can download this audio file right away.
Anh cũng biết, thức khuya chẳng phải điều hay, nhưng thành nếp quen rồi, khó lòng bỏ được trong một sớm một chiều. Vậy mà sáng hôm kia, chẳng hiểu vì cớ gì, Hoàng bỗng choàng tỉnh khi trời vừa ửng sáng.
Let's also try some other voices I've cloned before.
Anh cũng biết, thức khuya chẳng phải điều hay, nhưng thành nếp quen rồi, khó lòng bỏ được trong một sớm một chiều. Vậy mà sáng hôm kia, chẳng hiểu vì cớ gì, Hoàng bỗng choàng tỉnh khi trời vừa ửng sáng. Có lẽ anh vừa thoát khỏi một giấc mơ chập chờn.
Anh cũng biết, thức khuya chẳng phải điều hay, nhưng thành nếp quen rồi, khó lòng bỏ được trong một sớm một chiều. Vậy mà sáng hôm kia, chẳng hiểu vì cớ gì, Hoàng bỗng choàng tỉnh khi trời vừa ửng sáng. Có lẽ anh vừa thoát khỏi một giấc mơ chập chờn, cố nhắm mắt lại cũng không sao ngủ thêm được.
Anh cũng biết, thức khuya chẳng phải điều hay, nhưng thành nếp quen rồi. Khó lòng bỏ được trong một sớm một chiều. Vậy mà sáng hôm kia, chẳng hiểu vì cớ gì, Hoàng bỗng choàng tỉnh khi trời vừa ửng sáng. Có lẽ anh vừa thoát khỏi một giấc mơ chập chờn, cố nhắm mắt lại cũng không sao ngủ thêm được. Thôi thì dậy vậy. Anh khẽ gạt tấm chăn, rón rén rời khỏi giường để khỏi làm vợ con thức giấc.
Now for the most interesting feature, creating multi-character dialogue. Open the Dialogue tab. Let's paste in the ready-made sample dialogue text to run a quick test. For example, Nam says, "Hey everyone, let's go to the park today." Lan replies, "Great, I'll get the food ready right now." Little Bo cheers, "I want to play on the slide." Here, we'll set up 3 voices for 3 different characters. Click Analyze Characters, then assign a voice to each person. On each line, you put the character's name at the start so the system knows who's speaking. Click Generate Dialogue, and the system will blend all 3 characters' voices into one seamless conversation, each with a distinct voice. Today we have a very special conversation lined up.
Hi, I'm really glad to be part of the show today.
Same here. Thanks for having us on. What's the topic for today?
We're going to talk about this year's AI trends and what they mean for us.
That's a topic I really care about. I actually work in this field.
I'm curious too about how AI is changing our day-to-day lives.
To kick things off, let's have you both introduce yourselves briefly.
I'm Anna, currently a software engineer at a tech company.
I'm Ben. I work in digital design and content creation.
Wonderful. It's a real privilege to have 2 talented young guests today. Pretty lively, isn't it? Finally, the speech-to-text feature, which pulls text content out of an audio or video file. Open the Speech-to-Text tab and upload the audio or video file you want to transcribe. The special part here is that we can choose models from low to high to compare the quality. First, I'll try the basic model. Fast, lightweight processing, but only moderate accuracies, suitable for clear audio files. You can see the result has a few mistakes. Now I'll switch to a higher-end model. It takes a bit longer to process, but accuracy improves noticeably. Better recognition, fewer errors, and it handles fast speech or noisy sections too. Comparing them, you can see, the higher the model, the more accurate the transcribed text. Depending on your needs and the quality of the source file, pick the right model to balance speed and accuracy. So we've gone through all 4 main features of GLab's Voice Studio: voice cloning, text-to-speech, multi-character dialogue, and text extraction. I hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next tutorials. Thanks for watching. See you next time.